مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا.
عسى الله أن يجعل بينكم وبين الذين عاديتم منهم مودة والله قدير والله غفور رحيم.
It is hoped that Allah will bring about love between you and those of them with whom you have enmity. Allah is powerful, and Allah is most forgiving, very merciful.
لا ينهاكم الله عن الذين لم يقاتلوكم في الدين ولم يخرجوكم من دياركم أن تبروهم وتقسطوا إليهم إن الله يحب المقسطين.
Allah does not forbid you as regards those who did not fight you on account of faith, and did not expel you from your homes, that you do good to them, and deal justly with them. Surely Allah loves those who maintain justice.
إنما ينهاكم الله عن الذين قاتلوكم في الدين وأخرجوكم من دياركم وظاهروا على إخراجكم أن تولوهم ومن يتولهم فأولئك هم الظالمون.
Allah forbids you only about those who fought you on account of faith, and expelled you from your homes, and helped others in expelling you, that you have friendship with them. Those who develop friendship with them are the wrongdoers.
Yeah.
So in verse number 7, 8, and 9, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing that indeed soon, because when these people were separated and Muslims stopped meeting with each of their loved ones and parents and brothers and sisters, it was a very painful experience. It's obvious that you cannot leave your family and loved ones. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Asa Allahu an yajala bainakum wa bain alladhina aadaytum minhum mawaddatan wallahu qadir. Qadirun wallahu ghafurur rahim. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala turned their hearts softened, and Allah has power over all the destiny, or He has a destiny of everything. So He softened the heart of those people, and many of them become Muslim, and these loved ones were together. Another thing is that this restriction of not meeting is only about those who are trying to kill and actively hurt Muslim. This was for the protection of the Muslim. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, La yanahakum Allahu anil ladhina lam yuqatilukum. Those who do not fight with you, this is a restriction only for those who fight with you. In the matter of what? Fid deen. Yukhrijukum min diyarikum, who have expelled you from your residence, an tabarra'uhum, so that you could be justly doing it, that wa tuqsitu ilayhim. So what they did justly, wrongly to you, so you do justly with them, that you distanced yourself from them. Inna Allaha yuhibbul muqsitin. Indeed, Allah loves those who do maintain justice. So this is one of the things. Justice is the part of the Islamic faith to be served. There is a 50-50 and a justice, nes or insaf. Insaf means 50-50. That's the Arabic word, means 50 of it. Justice is that whoever deserves whatever they deserve should be given fully to that. So it cannot be 50-50 is not the justice. Justice is a separate thing than the dividing equal. Equality is not the justice. Equality is separate thing, which is if you have a $100, you don't distribute 50-50 is justice. Now, if it is to be done, yes. If somebody you should get 80 and other get 20, or one get 99 and other get 1, that is justice. So this is the justice. So that should be served in Islam. And Allah loves those who do the justice. إِنَّمَا يَنْهَاكُمُ اللَّهُ عَنِ الَّذِينَ قَاتَلُوكُمْ فِي الدِّينِ وَأَخْرَجُوكُم مِّن دِيَارِكُمْ وَظَاهَرُوا عَلَىٰ إِخْرَاجِكُمْ أَن تَوَلُّوهُمْ وَمَن يَتَوَلَّاهُمْ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الظَّالِمُونَ. These verses are very explicitly explaining those that it is about those only who are fighting with you in the matter of faith and expelling you from your homes and helping the other in getting you expelled or dispossessed from your places, and that you have friendship with those. So Allah is saying, don't make friends with those who are trying to hurt you. This is a common sense thing, which we don't want to be friends with those. So there's sometimes the blood relation or the tradition or the cultural tradition come ahead that, it doesn't matter that this person is disbeliever, but that is my blood relation. So as long as they are not harmful, they love you, you love them, they do not try to hurt you, you can still have a family relation. And today when US, when we are seeing a lot of people are embracing Islam, their children, their parents, their family, their brothers, sisters, their friends, they are non-Muslim. But these people are not fighting against Muslim. But those who are fighting and killing, then it is obvious that you don't want to be friend with them, because they will lure you into harm, or they may do something to get information from you and hurt the other part of the Muslim community, and in you in particularly too. Sometimes things happen. In those days it was very common. Nowadays we do not see a whole lot, or any time when there's a situation where some people are in the faith, some are not in the faith, we don't abandon them. We should try to invite them and give them the most beautiful way of invitation, and show them the best of the moral and character of Muslims, and tell them about the faith matter. And this should be an opportunity. So I do not see this apply now for whatever was then, but it applies to those who are obviously trying to hurt and kill Muslims. So we should not let those people be considered as a close friend, because they're not. One thing is, before the breaking of the Sulh Hudaybiyah, the Treaty of the Hudaybiyah, when Abu Sufyan came to Medina, and he visited companions of Prophet so that they could give him audience with the Prophet, and they said, no, we cannot do that. You broke the treaty, Prophet, we cannot bring you the Prophet, because he wanted to reestablish the treaty, because he now saw he was seeing that within the few years people were coming to Islam. Many of the women who have left their husband because they have embraced Islam, and many of the men who were leaving Mecca, and Mecca was becoming a deserted city in a way that it was not as secure and as powerful as it was before the exiled Muslim. So he also came to his daughter, which was Prophet's own house. He thought his daughter will give him audience with Prophet and try to make a treaty. But Allah and Prophet have decided this is not going to be happening. So when he came, he wanted to sit on the bed of Prophet. His daughter, Habiba radiyallahu anha, who was already in the immigration in Ethiopia, in the first immigration, and her husband has left Islam and become Christian. So she left him and she came, and Prophet took her as his wife. So she told her father, you cannot sit on this bed. You are impure, you are not clean, and my husband, Prophet of Allah, is a pure. So an impure person cannot sit on it. And he was surprised that his own blood and daughter he raised has turned on him. So this is how the respect people had with the Prophet. This is just something which I forgot to mention earlier. I just wanted to elaborate on it. During the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, when it was not broken by Muslim, it was broken by Kuffar, and Prophet says, since you broke the treaty, we are going to attack you. And now Muslim, during this very short period of time of peace treaty between Muslim and Kafir, Islam had spread like a wildfire among the people of Arabs, and Muslims were at least not being attacked. So they were having an opportunity to communicate with the other people and tell them about the Islam. Let's listen to the verse number 10.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا جاءكم المؤمنات مهاجرات فامتحنوهن الله أعلم بإيمانهن فإن علمتموهن مؤمنات فلا ترجعوهن إلى الكفار لا هن حل لهم ولا هم يحلون لهم وآتوهم ما أنفقوا ولا جناح عليكم أن تنكحوهن إذا آتيتموهن أجورهن ولا تمسكوا بعصم الكوافر واسألوا ما أنفقتم وليسألوا ما أنفقوا ذلكم حكم الله يحكم بينكم والله عليم حكيم.
O you who believe, when the believing women come to you as emigrants, put them to a test. Allah knows best about their faith. So, if you find them faithful, do not send them back to the disbelievers. Neither these women are lawful for them, nor are those disbelievers lawful for these women. And give them, the disbelievers, that dower which they had paid to these women. And there is no sin for you if you marry them, when you give them their dowers. And do not hold on to the ties of marriage with the disbelieving women, and ask their new non-Muslim husbands to pay to you that dower which you had paid to your previous wives. And they, the previous non-Muslim husbands of the Muslim women, should ask their new Muslim husbands to pay that dower which they had paid to their previous wives. That is the decision of Allah. He decides between you, and Allah is all-knowing, all-wise.
So this verse needs some explanation. What happened was when the Hudaybiyah treaty was being signed, there were many incidents happening at that time. One of the incident reported is that a lady named Sabi'a, she, daughter of Haris Aslamiya, she was a Muslimah who turned to Islam, and her husband, who was among the people who was signing the treaty, he was present at that time. When she arrived right at the time of the treaty was being executed, so he said, you have this agreement that all those people who come from Mecca to Medina, you will return to them to Mecca with us, and you will not give them place to live in Medina. So at that time Allah revealed this verse, number 10. It says that when, O you who believe, when a woman of the faithful come as an immigrant to you, test her for the faith, and if she does, then do not give her to disbeliever. What you're supposed to do is that, because if a Muslim woman is in a relation with or married to a person who have left the faith, the marriage is null and void. So when she leaves him in the marriage, then what you should do, you should give the money of what he has given her for the dower, which is basically mahar. Give her the money and take her into marriage with you. This is the understanding. If a Muslim woman also who leaves a Muslim man and want to go to non-Muslim husband, then she is also not anymore in the part of the faith and the Muslim in the marriage, so she can leave. Now there's a little complex situation happened, because it happened in Muslim. In those days, when the Muslims were in government and power, they would execute as a jury, and the judge would take care of this thing, and he will issue the decree that a non-Muslim woman, when she leaves Islam, she is no more in marriage. But now Islam has spread to all over the country where there are not Muslim rules. So what is it to be done? So in case if a non-Muslim woman come to the Muslim man, so Muslim want to take her into marriage, he should pay the money the non-believing husband has spent on her, and marry to her and take her as a wife. If a Muslim woman wants to leave, she is supposed to do is what? Now she has kids and husband and children. It happened in many times when husband was not treating the woman right, they would say, I'm leaving the Islam. And that was one of the things. So they were supposed to be not anymore marriage, because marriage is null and void when you deny faith. So what happened was that in places like Indian subcontinent, where Muslims were not in majority, and so this was a decree was issued, and this verse has been reinterpreted as the woman will remain in marriage, but they will not be having any marital relation till she come back to the faith, and her conflict or whatever issue is being settled or resolved. She is not to be given to marriage to a non-believing man. This was something, again, fiqh issue and the details about it. So now what happened here is that a person cannot be forced into marriage. And if a woman, it was becoming a kind of a practice that women, when they were not happy with their husband, they will leave the faith. Islam does not want anybody to leave the faith. So divorce is there in Islam. If she, being a believer, wants to leave a marriage, she's allowed. She's a free woman. She can marry to another man she wants to after doing the iddah. So this was something of that time, and it is now not a situation today happening. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala further says, Allah forbids you only about those who fought you in the matter of faith and expelling you from your home. And the verse number 10 is matter about the woman and husband, and non-Muslim husband should be paid money to keep a Muslim woman. So Prophet says that this treaty of Hudaybiyah is about the men who will leave Mecca to come to Medina, but not for the Muslim women who left their family and husband to come to Medina. Their husband will be paid money or dower money, and whoever wants to take them in marriage will be marrying to this woman. And if some of your non-Muslim wife have slipped from you, see, and their present non-Muslim husband do not pay you for the dower or for, as said forth, you have your turn of paying the dower to the previous non-Muslim husband for your present wives. Then instead of paying dower to them, give those whose wife you have slipped into like amount of what they have paid to them, and fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So these verses really not applicable today because situation have changed. That's what I was talking about. Some of the verses are not applicable in the life today, but they are there. We should know about what happened. Listen to the verse number 11.
وَإِن فَاتَكُمْ شَيْءٌ مِّنْ أَزْوَاجِكُمْ إِلَى الْكُفَّارِ فَعَاقَبْتُمْ فَآتُوا الَّذِينَ ذَهَبَتْ أَزْوَاجُهُم مِّثْلَ مَا أَنفَقُوا وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ الَّذِي أَنتُم بِهِ مُؤْمِنُونَ.
And if some of your non-Muslim wives have slipped from you, and their present non-Muslim husbands do not pay to you the dower as aforesaid, and you have your turn of paying dower to the previous non-Muslim husbands of your present wives, then, instead of paying dower to them, give those whose wives have slipped the like amount of what they had paid to them, and fear Allah, the one in whom you believe.
So this is explaining that if a Muslim woman left Islam to went to a non-Muslim husband or to non-Muslim man, so they were supposed to pay dower to you, which they didn't pay. In case if they didn't pay and their another spouse came in and they become Muslim, the wife, if the man used to have multiple wives. So if she become Muslim and you took her in marriage, so you gave dower to this woman rather than to the lost husband of a non-Islamic faith, and this is how it was settled. So this is kind of a just way of dealing with the situation, which is not really applicable in today's world, but it is there. If it ever happened, this is how to deal with the issue. Verse number 12.
يا أيها النبي إذا جاءك المؤمنات يبايعنك على ألا يشركن بالله شيئا ولا يسرقن ولا يزنين ولا يقتلن أولادهن ولا يأتين ببهتان يفترينه بين أيديهن وأرجلهن ولا يعصينك في معروف فبايعهن واستغفر لهن الله إن الله غفور رحيم.
O you who believe, when the believing women come to you, seeking a pledge of allegiance, with you that they will not ascribe any partner to Allah, and will not commit theft, and will not commit fornication, and will not kill their children, and will not come up with a false claim about the parentage of a child, that they falsely attribute to the sperm of their husbands being dropped between their hands and their feet, for example, their private parts, and will not disobey you in what is recognized in Sharia, then take them in your bay'ah, and pray Allah for their forgiveness. Surely Allah is most forgiving, very merciful.
This verse number 12 is actually need little explanation. This is the oath which is Allah has sent down in Quran in Surah Al-Mumtahanah. The verse number 12 is the oath of allegiance. When a woman take Islam, Shahada, this is what she need to do. Prophet is commanded, O you Prophet, when a woman comes to you, that she wants to take an oath or pledge of allegiance of being a Muslim with you, ala an la yushrikna. So take a promise and oath from her that she will not make partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. She will not steal. It was a common thing among the culture of those people, or that was the practice which Islam required. A woman will not be worshipping other gods with Allah or make partners in worship with Allah. She will not steal. Wala yaznina, and she will not commit fornication in legal, out of marriage, sexual intercourse. Wala yuqtilna awladahunna, they will not kill their children like they used to do infanticide, a practice in those days. Wala ya'tina buhtanan, and they will not come out with a accusation. يفترنه بين أيديهن وأرجلهن ولا يعصينك في معروف, and they will not bring a accusation or attribute a false thing that they used to bring a child and they say this is our child, because sometimes they would do, which was probably one of the practices, that they will bring another child and they say this is your child. Like, as explanation is very explicit that it is not the husband's child, it was somebody else's child, and this is what they used to tell. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying is this is not, they will not do it, and they will not disobey Allah and His Messenger, and they will deal with the matter as a culturally what is norm for those people. And so you take the treaty from them and seek forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for them. And indeed, Allah is all forgiving and merciful. So this is what, we say, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. So when a woman wants to take shahada, she need to read these words and take an oath with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on those matters. And this verse number 12 of Surah Al-Mumtahanah. This is a treaty which is to be recited. It's just not simple La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. She has to make oath and affirmation of this word. This is the woman shahada basically, or bayah. Let's listen to the verse number 13.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تتولوا قوما غضب الله عليهم قد يئسوا من الآخرة كما يئس الكفار من أصحاب القبور. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
And this verse number 13, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that, O you who believe, do not have friendship with the people on whom Allah has His anger and wrath. They have despaired from the hereafter. This is in reference to those people. There were some poor Muslims or destitute people. They used to go to Jewish people in the tribal situation and will share with them the information and get some food and fruits from them. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, O you who believe, do not turn to those Allah has His anger or wrath upon them. قَدْ يَئِسُوا مِنَ الْآخِرَةِ كَمَا يَئِسَ الْكُفَّارُ مِنْ أَصْحَابِ الْقُبُورِ. And do not turn to them because they have despaired from the hereafter, as the infidels have despaired from the buried in the grave. Like they used to, the disbeliever says, their belief was that if somebody dies and he is in the grave, will not be able to do any good or bad for the living people. So this is one of their belief. We should be mindful about it. So this was the last verse of this chapter today, Surah Al-Mumtahanah. Inshallah, next Sunday we will discuss Surah Al-Nisa. It's about the women, and it was also revealed in Medina. A lot of rules and regulation and inheritance and women's rights have been discussed in this. Inshallah, it will be a long chapter. It has about 176 verses. So that will be a long chapter to discuss. I will stop here today. If you have any questions, any concern, please ask. Otherwise, inshallah, we'll begin next Sunday. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.